Please rise as we welcome the Director's Platform Party to the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. Please rise if you're able to join me in welcoming the graduating class of 2024.
College Director Jared Peters, Elder-in-Residence Woolastook Grand Chief Ron Tremblay, invited guests, colleagues, faculty, staff, family, friends, and graduates, welcome. You may now be seated. I'm Anna Mathis, the Academic Dean at NBCCD, and before we begin today's ceremony, I have a few housekeeping notes. First off, please silence your phones if you haven't already done so. We have two fantastic interpreters with us today if anyone is hard of hearing. We are also live streaming today's event on our YouTube channel. A big welcome to the friends and family who are joining us online. We're so glad that you can be here with us today. A reminder that flash photography is not permitted during the ceremony. Our incredible college photographer, Kelly Baker, will be taking photos throughout the day and get a portrait of each graduate on stage when they come up. These will be available on our website and social media channels at a later date. The aisles will be used for graduate traffic during the ceremony, so please keep that space clear and stay seated throughout Convocation. Today, we will hear from members of our community, including your glass valedictorian. We'll award the Governor General's Award for Academic Achievement, and most importantly, confer upon the graduates their certificates and diplomas that they have worked so very hard to achieve. Graduates, your dedication to designing our world, visually shaping our future, preserving our history, has brought you to this significant moment. You embody NBCCD's values of community, curiosity, and creativity. As you move forward, remember that you are joining a legacy of skilled designers, artists, and craftspeople who are building sustainable, creative careers in their very own unique way. Pursuing an education in craft and design takes perseverance, self-discipline, and self-belief, and these are skills that you will carry forward with you in everything that you do. And our NBCCD community will continue cheering you on every step of the way. Congratulations on reaching this incredible milestone. I'm now pleased to invite Wolastoq Grand Chief and NBCCD Elder-in-Resident, Sposaxid Pozazam, Ron Tremblay, to the podium to celebrate the land in which we live, work, and create on. Ron.
Quape City Wen, Spazagazat Pesazam and Lewis. Greetings all. My traditional Wolastoq name is Spazagazat Pesazam, which translates to Morning Star Burning. It's the first light that you see coming up in the east, so blame me for that light waking you up in the morning. Kolezi kolpa yed Wolastogug, naga medjimidet wat Luitas o Wolastoq. I want to welcome you to the traditional land of the Wolastoq people we call Wolastoq or Wolastogug, and the river which is in back of you and in front of you is called Wolastoq. Medjimi de Edamu Tuag Genzosag Amsquas de way Itazo. And the ancestors always told us in the beginning there was a thought. And the thought created creation. And all these fine young-looking people had a thought when they decided to come to this beautiful school, and a thought when they presented their projects and actually created with their hands and with their minds and with their hearts. So I want to congratulate all you wonderful-looking people for this beautiful day and for your for your accomplishments. I just have to pause about thinking of all the past students who have come through the school, through the doorway, and who are now contributors to the arts here in our beautiful country. And I want to thank you all for coming and celebrating these wonderful young people. Huliwan, Nidlage, 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 Nidlage. Thank you, and may that be the truth, and may that be so. May that be the truth, may that be so. May that be the truth, and may that be so. Thank you.
We'd now like to invite Judy Aquin, the studio coordinator of our Wabanaki Visual Arts program, to perform the Woolastook song.
Quay. Woolastook Maragwe, Ahaji de Bamigo, Woolastook Maragwe, Zubegamia. Niguas Pamepin, was easy till escamil. Niguas Pamepin, was easy till escamil. Woolastook Maragwe, Ahaji de Bamigo, Woolastook Maragwe, Zubegamia. Niguas Pamepin, was easy till escamil. Niguas Pamepin, was easy till escamil. Woolastook Maragwe, Ahaji de Bamigo, Woolastook Maragwe, Zubegamia. Niguas Pamepin, was easy till escamil. Niguas Pamepin, was easy till escamil. Woolastook Maragwe, Ahaji de Bamigo, Woolastook Maragwe, Zubegamia. Niguas Pamepin, was easy till escamil. Niguas Pamepin, was easy till escamil. Leland.
Thank you, Judy. We would now like to ask everyone who is able to please rise for the singing of O Canada by student Francesca Arsenault.
L'histoire est tu l'épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Please be seated and welcome Jared Peters, NBCCD Director, to offer opening remarks.
Graduates, congratulations. There is a reason we all got dressed up in hot polyester wizard robes on a very hot day. We are visually marking a very important transformation. We are announcing loudly and publicly and proudly that each of you has skills, techniques, ideas, and values that will enable you to succeed in this world. You are ready. I know from personal experience, though, from back when I was sitting where you are, when I was graduating from art school, that you might not feel ready. Some of you might. Some of you might, know what you're doing, further education or a job or a new studio. That's great. We love to hear that. But some of you, I suspect, are sick to death of a question you've probably heard hundreds, if not thousands of times in the past weeks or months from loved ones or friends saying, hey, what are your plans after graduation? And that question still gives me a little bit of anxiety. So I'm guessing there are quite a few of you out there thinking, I have no idea what comes next for me. What's next? What's the next thing that I do? And probably there are a few parents and loved ones with a similar question. And I get it. Uncertainty is scary and uncomfortable. And the world is big and uncertain and scary sometimes. And that's certainly true now. So what now? What is the plan? And I can't answer that. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you. Each of you, after this, you take this day, this week, this month to celebrate, to reflect back on this enormous accomplishment. You have to figure that out for yourselves. And I know this is a very helpful and inspiring speech so far. But here's what I know. Each of you has already demonstrated amazing hard work, resilience, self-motivation, and self-discipline. And I know this because each of you has just completed a rigorous, difficult, intensive course of study. You've already done a very hard thing, and you did the hard thing because you have the skills, ideas, and values needed to be successful. And these are exactly the same skills you will need to be successful out in the world, no matter what the future holds, no matter what you end up doing. You have an amazing capacity to engage with and participate within visual culture. We are a very visual and object-based society. Being able to critically and creatively engage in this space to literally design and generate, a vision of reality, that's more powerful now than it ever has been. You are all creative. You probably knew that before you walked into the doors of the college. But now you have the skills, techniques, and ideas to deploy that creativity, to critically problem solve, to design new solutions, to deliver a kind of thinking and flexibility to be a dynamic individual who can chart their own unique path. You have the outside-the-box thinking that is needed now more than ever. In this economy, in this radically changing world, we need your skills right now. And this is real power. This is power that you can leverage for career success. A creative career is not always, or even typically, a static 9-to-5 job, but a dynamic, shifting, multifaceted experience. I promise you this, you have the skills you need to lead a very interesting, successful, and fulfilling life. So I'm not going to tell you what comes next for you. I have no idea what tomorrow brings for you or for the world. I know there will be ups and downs, there will be hiccups, and there will be hard work ahead of for each and every one of you. But I do know this, you are ready for it all.
Thank you so much, Jared. Now for the moment we have all been waiting for, the conferral of diplomas and certificates. Our registrar, Candace Hare, will facilitate this on stage, accompanied by the respective studio coordinator. And graduates, staff will come to your row to guide you up onto the stage. It is my distinct honor to present the 2024 graduates, beginning with Foundation Visual Arts Online. As some of these graduates cannot be here in person, we have prepared slides with their names to ensure that all are celebrated. For those of you who are here today, staff will now guide you to the stage. All right. Alex, oh, come on over here. You're the first one. We're the first ones. We get to figure it out together. All right. I'm going to read the names first, and you must be Tyler. And then I'll start with you, okay? Alexandra Cochran. Megan Dawson. Megan Doherty. Amber Hicks. And do you have a card? Thank you. Tyler Hodge. Make your way over there. Jennifer Jack. Madison Knoll. Evan Rafuse. Isabella Soriano. Grace Nevers. Wonderful. Mary Kathleen Morton LaFrance. Draven Tingley. Shirley Wang. Thank you, Jen. I'd now like to present the Foundation Visual Arts certificates from the Fredericton campus. Michelle Allard. Kimberly Astle. Francesca Arsenault. Alexandra Babin. Abby Odd. Paisley Boland. Paige Alyssa Brewer. Victoria Brown. Hannah Kanila. Alexander Michael Cochran. Abigail Como. Owen Como. Madison Dibley. Daphne Doucette. Brendan Doyle. Connor Finlater. Natsue Montez de Oka. Lee Gallant. Kelly Ann Harquail. Olivia Hicks. Riddick Hewson. Jesse Kehue. Ross Kinney. Sandrine Josephine Lagasse. Okay. Anhin Kim Lei. Megan LeBlanc. Kara Maybe. Jackie Mann. Natasha Martin Mitchell. Molly McBride. Sydney McGrath. Bridget Merritt Carr. Soup Merritt Carr. Katie Michaud. Amory Missios. V. Win. Reka Rainbow Ravens. Hayden Richardson. Victory Dos Santos Roy. Rosalia San Martin Einel. Wia Sanang Gung Lung. Kai Shwanawidi. Eben Slip. Liam Somerville. Matthew Story. Kara Too Good. Alex Vandeboer. Zach Wilby. Dean Winters. Barbara Yoshinaga. Kan Zhang. Thank you, Jillian. Now we'll kick off with the conferral of diplomas with 3D digital design. With a diploma in 3D digital design, Jamie Black. Shira Feliz Rodriguez. Brady Hoyt. Emma LeBlanc. Katie McDonough. John Mitchell. Asher Pepperdine. Daniel Thibodeau. Thank you, Jamie. Now we will continue with the presentation of diplomas with fashion design. With a diploma in fashion design, Avenya Aratakis. Hannah Wing K. Chung. Kaylee Como. Anahita Eslami Dizga. Cleo Elizabeth Gallant. Megan Hewson. Laura Silva. Thank you, Tracy. We will now present the diplomas in fine craft ceramics. With a diploma in fine craft ceramics, Dimitra Buntalas. Alexandra Fieldhouse. Becca Flood. Bryn Haynes. Kelly McCarthy. Thank you, Liz. We will now present the diplomas in fine craft jewelry metal arts. With a diploma in fine craft jewelry metal arts, Rebecca Blankert. Mariana Lewis. Isel Perez Lopez. Deanne Sack. Thank you, Kristen. We will now present the diplomas in graphic design. With a diploma in graphic design, Gracie Arujo. Ruby Carroll. Nikki Cook. Kate DeMuschel. Louise Farr. Olivia Fulkins. Maggie Hodgson. Bree Kershefta. Nick Moeller. Edward Swan. Yara Winter dos Santos. Thank you, Dale. Now for the presentation of diplomas in photography, videography. With a diploma in photography, videography, Calvin Arasnas. Connor Beers. Curtis Brewster. Alexandra Bustard. Andressa Cutini. Or David. Bella Doherty. German Garcia.
¡Viva México!
Fabian Otero. Aaron McDonald Trevors. Okay. Thank you, Drew. We'll now present the diplomas in textile design. With a diploma in textile design, Sunny Evans. Rachel Flood. Laura Lloyd. Marielle Pliego. Thank you, Rachel. Now for the awarding of our Advanced Studio Practice Certificates. With a certificate in Advanced Studio Practice, Emily Dow. Ivy Grenier. Grace Hallowell. Rebecca Hanley. Alina Karmadanova. Case McClellan. Sierra Mishral. Catherine Neely. Thank you, Jean. And congratulations to all of our graduates. I would now like to invite the graduating class of 2024 to turn your tassels from the right side of your cap to the left side. And for everyone to join me in another round of applause for the newest alumni of NBCCD. Well done, and congratulations again, graduates. It's now the special time in our ceremony where we announce this year's Governor General's Academic Award. This award is presented to the student who achieves the highest overall GPA upon graduation from a post-secondary diploma program. I'd like to ask Jared Peters to join me in the presentation of the Governor General's Academic Medal. This year's recipient is a highly creative photographer and visual artist who brings their unique vision to all of the projects they work on. Their photographs are characterized by their sensitivity and power of perception that reveals the details that many others would not see. Their compelling narratives often deal with difficult subjects with humor and candor. Their unwavering work ethic and dedication to their craft makes them a driven visual artist with tremendous potential. This year's Governor General Academic Medal goes to photography and videography graduate, Erin McDonald Trevors. You're up next.
Congrats, Erin. We hope you are as proud of this accomplishment as we know your studio is, where's Drew, of you. On behalf of our entire college community, we have no doubt that your future is very bright. Congratulations. It is now my distinct pleasure and honor to present the 2024 NBCCD Fellow. This honorary title is given to a person who has contributed to the college by helping to support, nurture, and develop fine craft and design education. The 2024 NBCCD Fellow goes to a person who has been supporting NBCCD through many initiatives over the years. Executive Director of Craft Alliance Atlantic, Bernard Burton. Bernard, for over 35 years, you have developed and supported the Canadian craft industry as an administrator, visionary, craftsperson, retailer, and more. Through Craft Alliance Atlantic, you have sent Atlantic Canadian craftspeople to collect UK, and your efforts have and continue to leave a lasting impact on the students, faculty, and staff of NBCCD. We are honored to recognize you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, graduates, faculty, and honored guests. Thank you, Jared, for that warm introduction. I'm extremely happy to be here today. I'm honored and humbled to be recognized in this manner by the New Brunswick College of Craft and Design. I'm also very honored to be in the company of other fellows of the college, many of whom I have admired and worked with over the years, including people you may know like Brigitte Clavette, Catherine McCarroll, Trudy Gallagher, and many others. My first recollections of the college was over 27 years ago while I was working with an organization called Craft Nova Scotia. I know, that's a hot minute ago. And at the time, it was a very indirect connection to NBCCD in that I had never been here, nor did I really know anyone directly involved with the college. However, what I was discovering through exhibitions, peer jury panels, craft markets, visiting retail shops and galleries, and generally engaging with the craft community in Atlantic Canada was a view to new, innovative work by relatively unknown emerging makers, designers, and artists, work that was fresh, work that was design-focused, and work that was extremely well crafted with technical excellence. Inevitably, anytime I would ever inquire, whose work is this, or where is that work from? Consistently, the story would lead me back to NBCCD. So with ever meeting anyone or visiting and experiencing the college directly, I was influenced by what I was seeing in the community. This left a lasting impression of what NBCCD is and what it means to the culture and creative sector. I think this speaks volumes for the history and legacy that is the New Brunswick College of Craft and Design. It also places each of you graduating here today in the distinct position of being recognized as an alumni of the college and what it carries with it into the broader creative community. The expectations are high, and having seen some of the most recent exhibitions like Beyond the Flat, Human Made, and the Sterling exhibition, I must say, graduates, I think you're well on your way. As you go forward, consider that there is no one path or direct way to achieving your creative goals. Some may encounter redirects, maybe even a one-way street or even a 360-degree change in focus. But be open to the possibilities, embrace those challenges, and follow your heart. My formative years were in the 1970s. Again, a quick minute ago. I was a naive, queer kid in small-town Cape Breton, where at the time, the thought of being in the arts and crafts was greeted with derision and outright, no, you don't want to do that. That was from a guidance counselor. So I didn't, at least not at the moment, but eventually I did follow my heart. So it's exciting to see a vibrant class of 2024, and I truly hope that the former attitudes are changing with respect to careers in the arts. Over the past 4 decades, I have taken many paths. I have made some wrong turns and some redirects, but I was always focused on craft, which fueled my passion and love of making and creating, collecting, and especially experiencing new ideas, concepts, processes, and techniques that only the human lived experience can create. So no matter what your discipline, please know that there are resources out there for you, like-minded colleagues, organizations, groups, and other alumni who can be mentors and provide assistance and direction as you go forward and follow your individual creative paths forward. There are also opportunities to teach, to try your hand at administration, join a board and become a volunteer, or follow your own studio practice model, or do all of the above. So I wish you all great success in your future creative expression, and I hope to see you and all your creative energies in the future. And I thank, again, the New Brunswick College of Craft and Design for this honor. And you know when you're at an art college when you see such amazing grad caps. So bravo for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Bernard, and congratulations again. Please join me in the induction of the ever-deserving Bernard Burton to a long line of outstanding fellows. I'm now pleased to welcome to the stage your class of 2024 valedictorian, or David, to address the graduating class. Or come on up.
Okay. Well, 3 years, 156 weeks, 1,095 days, 26,298 hours, not including staying in the studio's extra hours to finish up another edit, a ring, or a mug, we definitely had more than 24 hours a day magically. And probably $1 million worth of coffee to get us through this all. But we did it. Class of 2024, we did it. We started with a finicky FEA year. COVID was tough on all of us. And don't forget online drawing and design classes. But we made it through the year, got accepted into our diploma programs, and now we are graduating. Some of us may stay close by. Congrats to my fellow future ASP and diploma students. Some of us may go far away, but near or far, there is one thing that connects us all, and that is being a part of the NBCCD family. Some of you may remember or not, but back in 2023, I had a very small gig as the Student Association president. And I remember different moments looking at everyone around me as the COVID restrictions were lifted and the community grew closer and closer. And finally, I saw smiles and thought to myself, I'm literally a part of this community. I'm an artist. I'm supposed to grab a fancy pencil, or in my case, a fancy camera, and paint a naked dude or something. And then I laughed because my storyboarding still contains stick figures, but that's my life. 9 to 4 every day, and yes, those 5 to 8s, and days and days in the studios till 11. One of my favorite things about being a student at NBCCD is everywhere I go, I see someone I know. Cross-studio collaborations, student-ran magazine. People are happy. You can see they truly love it here. I really felt at peace. But with all that glory, sometimes life decides to throw lemons your way, and I didn't always know how to make them into lemonade. Luckily, on those dark days, NBCCD was my guiding light. From studio mates, class of 2024 mates, to staff and faculty members, people had their doors and arms wide open. They helped me cross that finish line. The school became my second home, and the community became my second family. Before I move to say a few thank yous, I would like to tell you a story of a recent tour I gave. During the tour, the visitor pointed out all the pride flags we have everywhere. They said it isn't as common where they're from. I told them that here at NBCCD, you can be whoever and whatever. You're welcome as you are. For someone like me, who moved from a different place, I understand that feeling. But in the past 3 years, not only I felt welcomed, I felt a part of something larger than myself. NBCCD really is my second family. Okay, now I would like to say a quick few thank yous to the people that made my journey here to the one I'll tell my kids about. And I invite you to think about those who made a big impact on you and your journey here at NBCCD. Thank you, Jared, and the rest of the leadership team, for always being so welcoming to anyone, no matter if they're a staff or a student. Your door is always open for us. Thank you, Jamie, that has been by my side since day one as the Student Association president, all the way to this stage. To Matt and the rest of the marketing and recruitment team, and all of the student services people for hours of support with the student associations, tours, student needs. You guys really made it enjoyable here. Thank you, Noel, for taking epic photos of us and making us take thousands of photos of you, and loving our landscape images with just a little bit less sky and taxes included. Thank you, Karen, for making us get out of our comfort zone with every assignment. Get creative. Just don't forget those journals. And artist bios are usually due on Fridays. Thank you to our studio tech, Haley, that's what they call me, for advice on advice, after hours therapy, image approving and printing, and drip coffee, of course. Thank you to our studio coordinator, my mentor, Super Drew, for not being afraid of any amount of tears, for making me and all of us believe that we are here because we are really meant to be here. Oh, and yes, I guess Photoshop isn't that bad. It's just testing our patience. And last but not least, thank you to my small photography videography family. From having to figure out how to work a film camera on our first day back in 2022, to having our own exhibitions at the George Fry, Charlotte Street Art Center, and the Beaverbrook Art Gallery, all the way to standing right here next to you. You guys have stood by me through some of the most challenging years. You have a place in my heart forever. I started FVA coming from years in the youth care field, moved to Fredericton after living in Moncton for 3 years, and told myself, it's just 1 year. My FVA grad cap says, I'll be back here in 2024. Look at me now. Look at you now. We did it. We really, really did. Before I wrap up, I wanted to leave you with a message. It is going to be hard. Don't be afraid to fail. Be proud you tried, and tried one again, and one more time. It is so much better to live and learn than wonder what if. A wise studio coordinator told me before, you have to be a bit playful before you're fearful. So remember, don't let fear get in your way of enjoying those new adventures. Believe in yourselves. I believe in you. Class of 2024, I'm proud to graduate alongside every single one of you, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for all of us. I know we'll do the greatest things and be able to proudly say, I'm a graduate of the New Brunswick College of Craft and Design. So let's go now. Do whatever it is, smile, and don't forget to tag NBCCD Live.
Thanks, Or. You're awesome. So, we are coming towards the end of this ceremony. I just want to say, you're all awesome. You are, I'm so excited for all of you graduates, and you make me excited and hopeful for the future. So, congratulations again. We have, oh, thanks. We have one more speaker, a very special guest speaker for you, Tondaway McCarthy. Tondaway McCarthy is a 7th-generation African-Canadian spoken word poet, writer, public speaker, and the culture correspondent for Maritime Edit magazine, where he highlights Black community leaders and artists. Known for his unique vibe-harvesting performances, he creates poetry spontaneously at events across the Maritimes. He has co-founded the New Brunswick Black Artists Alliance and helped organize the provincial event Emancipation Celebration. He also played a key role in having August 1st recognized as Emancipation Day in New Brunswick. As a public speaker, he has delivered keynotes for the Atlantic Public Libraries Association, lectured on leadership at St. Thomas University, and presented the Still Here initiative to the Ontario College of Early Childhood Educators. The Still Here initiative, a Canada Council project celebrating 15 generational Black New Brunswick families, is gearing up for a national art exhibition at the Beaverbrook Art Gallery and a globally distributed book published by Goose Lane Editions, both launching in July 2025. Tondaway's memoir, Social Oblivion, Raised Black in New Brunswick, is available now at Westminster Bookmark. Tondaway, welcome to the stage.
Thank you. I'm going to try my best to get this in 15 minutes before they drag me out of here. So, all right. Here we go. Let's have a real speech, shall we? Oh, my family. Boy, it's an interesting thing for you to be coming across my path here at this stage in your creative careers, as I myself am honored to give this closing speech being a 5-year-in self-taught artist. So in that 5 years of being self-taught, I kind of have to get the experience, I kind of have to get the knowledge, I kind of have to learn the people all on my own. And in this, I have found that there are 4 parts to the artist career that will help each and every one of you survive no matter what obstacles you face. Those 4 parts are, of course, passion, your practice, your people, and, of course, being paid. Now, many of you want to skip to being paid, but as I will keep on repeating, That's how you burn out. And this speech is all about how to not burn out in your creative career. But before we get to that, I want to talk a little bit about imposter syndrome, the specter in the room, feeling like you can't do it. Many years ago, I worked in retail, as I'm sure you've all had the displeasure of doing, and I did the 11 to 7 shift at the Atlantic Superstore. That is 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. And not once, while I was holding a mop at 4 in the morning, did I ever think, wow, I really shouldn't be here. What am I doing here? You know, who do I think I am mopping this floor? No, not once while I was unpacking endless candles or folding the 100th towel and putting it on the shelf did that tiny voice in my head speak to me and say, yeah, I don't think, you should be here. It's so odd how we normalize these retail experiences as something we need to do to survive, something we need to do to endure society. It seems to me that we only feel imposter syndrome when we start to walk in our dreams. And so I suggest to you all that perhaps imposter syndrome isn't a signal of where you shouldn't be, but a confirmation of where you need to be in order to change the world. That when you feel like an imposter, you are growing into the person who can create positive change in the world based off your dreams. And I do hope you have dreams, because that leads into passion. Passion to me is just the perfect blend of hope and curiosity. You hope things will be better, and you have the courage to explore the unknown and walk forward. Now, everyone likes to talk about passion, and they don't like to say where passion comes from. I'm here to help you with that. Problems. Problems are where you get your passion from. And some of y'all have a whole lot of problems you want to create against, and you get all kinds of opportunities that cause nothing but headaches and too many deadlines. So I'm here to say, pick one problem, because karma is real. And the energy you put out are the opportunities you get back. So I need you to think of one problem that gets you up in the middle of the night and you're just frustrated with, whether it be housing, domestic violence, equity, diversity, history, any of those problems, and just wrap your heart around it. And through doing that, I promise you, you will receive all the opportunities just based on that. Karma is real. And that's where the dreams come from. You know, I have a dream. That was intentional. And it stemmed from the problem that when I started 5 years ago, I wanted Black New Brunswick artists to be seen as equal and respected in the New Brunswick art community. That was not happening. That was the problem that kept me up. There are Black New Brunswick artists who are excellent, who don't even hold the title of artist, who don't even hold the title of creative, who just are hobbyists, even though they practice as hard as all of us, even though they work as hard, even though they have as much of a portfolio as us. They don't even get to the fine art or professional artists, none of that. So my dream stemmed from that, and I suggest to you all for passion that you pick one wicked problem to pour your heart into, and so you do not get burnt out. The problem you pick to pour your passion into has to be backed by a practice, and your practice is your discipline. How interesting that it's called discipline for a reason. If you are a photographer, if you are a graphic designer, and you are thinking about the problems in society today, every waking moment should be spent just thinking how you can continue this conversation through your lens, through your craft. Create something interesting to talk about diversity in all of our workplaces. Create something interesting to talk about capitalism. Because I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but when it comes to practice, I have to say there is no retirement to the artist. Artists, we're kind of like Pokemon. We kind of start out having fun, and then, we evolve, and all of a sudden, we're getting money, and then we evolve again, and now we're teaching and organizing art festivals, and we're wondering what happened to that. I just want to be in the studio and create. So right now, my fellow war turtles, you are in the middle stage, and I want you to know that the work is endless, But as long as you have picked a problem that you can pour your passion into, you will never face burnout because you will always be so happy and excited to contribute something to the world. Now, for me, I learned the lesson of work is endless as a writer. Off my problem of Black New Brunswick artists weren't being respected or accepted into the New Brunswick art community. My first project 4 years ago, you think it would be writing a book as a spoken word poet and a writer. No, it was republishing the only Black New Brunswick history book in New Brunswick that is 50 years old. You see, my problem is so wicked, I can't even talk about Black New Brunswick artists. I have to start all the way back here to discuss Black New Brunswickers. When someone asks me where I'm from, I say I'm a 7th generation Black Canadian. I'm from Fredericton, 200 years ago. That's where I'm from, right here. But nobody knows that. They think that my family just got here within 80 years. So I have to start my conversation. I have to address my problem where it starts with the community. And so I just think all of you should think of your practice as spiritual nourishment. Because when I had to do that book, and then I had to come out with the memoir, and now I have this lovely Canada Council project talking about 15 Black New Brunswick families, I still have yet to say anything about Black artists. I still am not there yet. Constantly doing these wonderful projects, and I'm not even close to starting the conversation that I want to help change. So please, when you're thinking of your practice, alumni, view it as a shower for your soul, as spiritual nourishment. And don't think that you always have to create something that you have to take the picture, or you have to create the ceramics, or you have to get into the shop and bend the metal. Just thinking about how you could use your skills to help better the world counts as the reps to grow yourself as an artist. Just that. And now, my favorite one, and I'm gonna try and keep this short. You know, the National Endowment of the Arts worked for 5 years to map out the entire art system to figure out how art works. They came out with 2 core things that art needs to work across history, across geographics. 1, us. Artists have to create. If artists don't create, all of this collapses. So we are the most important part. But second to that, audiences have to participate. Participation is key. No one knows there's a cave painting if no one goes into the cave. Does anyone hear the tree fall in the forest if they're not there? I say to you, who would even know there's a forest if they've never even been there? So when it takes a village, and when you are thinking about growing your practices and your passions, you need to build your crew. And it's on you. The responsibility is on each and every one of you to go learn who is in your creative village. You have to go to the gallery openings. You have to walk into the museums. You have to send the emails and attend the festivals. And you need to build a group of people, because this is one of the most dangerous lessons I tell you. Your dreams are going to grow to a point where your backs can't carry them alone, and you are going to need friends to help you push the conversations on these wicked problems. Do you think in my Still Here project that I was interviewing the 15 families for their history? No. That was Dr. Mary McCarthy, Louise Brent. Do you think I was photographing and capturing the 15 families at their homes all over New Brunswick? No, that was my friend Gary Weeks. Do you think I was even managing $55,000 from Canada Council? When I got that, I got gray in my beard. It was so crazy. No, that was my friend Jeannie Rediker, who has been working in a bank for 10 years, and I said, please, friend, take care of this. If I did not have excellent people with me who I could build with and who I could play with, I would not be able to continue my passion on the problems or practice. So please, build the people around you that you can share a meal and a mission. Small rant on people, because social is so important to me. If you have people that are only there to build, what happens when someone gets sick in your family, when you need to take a mental health day, when all they're worried about is reputation and status? The people that only build disappear. The people that play, if all they do is play, and when you ask them to come help you out on a project, and all of a sudden they show up late or they overpromise, and they're starting to judge and victimize you for your dreams. I say to you both, you need both. People that can build and people that can play, because either on its own is poison for your dreams. You need people that both love you and can work with you. And now, the final part that everyone loves, paid. How do you get paid? I'm gonna do a little something here. I need you to repeat after me. Is there a budget for the artists? Is there a budget for the artists? Is the only sentence you need anytime someone jumps in your emails, starts asking you if you want to auction off your artwork, starts saying, oh, we could just use your receipts. Check them. Check them right there and say, is there a budget for the artists? And if they have the gall to suggest exposure, you go straight to Carfax. Yeah, come on, that's right. Yeah. Carfax says any work under 4 hours is $500, and you can negotiate from there. That's the minimum fee. So come on now, you are alumni. All right, now, the value. Since you have your passion, you have your practice, you have your people, value for you is going to be a little different. I heard a lot of talk today about what can we do, where do we go from now, and fortunately for you all, I have the answer for that. If you want to go anywhere in this industry, you actually have to go somewhere. Travel. Travel as an artist is the most important thing to your creative career. I tell you now that all these lessons I learned was because I was volunteering for the New Brunswick Black Artists Alliance, and I had to learn all these things through grit and grime, and I would not wish those days of an early nonprofit board governance on any of you. So here is how you get everything I got for the low, low price of airfare. I want you all to find international festivals in Canada and volunteer there. If you want to triple your value instantly, go to Toronto. Go to the Toronto International Film Festival. What do I have written down? One-of-a-kind show, a biannual craft show that's an international show in Toronto, metalworking, ceramics, everything. Help them set up chairs. Listen to the board members talk about how they organize it. I promise you, if you work at 3 international festivals volunteering and come back, your resume will be bulletproof. No one will be able to talk to you about exposure. You'll be able to walk onto any board in Atlantic Canada and know exactly what to do to add value, and it'll just totally bring trust and respect to you in a way you can't imagine. You really have to give back to the creative community. And I don't know if you know this, but as alumni of the New Brunswick College of Craft and Design, you are already pre-approved for a profile on the Canada Council for the Arts, NECA. That's new and early career artists. Professional development grants, $10,000 to pay for you to go wherever you want to volunteer, so you can get money too. Now, yeah, small aside. Artist for 5 years. I've been a national judge at Canada Council more times than I've been an artist, so I don't know how any of this happens for me, but good people, passion, I keep my practice up. I will just end by saying that artists, you deserve excellence. Because as creatives, my definition of an artist is that we are people who share deeply. And so that means based off what we are feeling, that is what we create. So I want all of you to feel loved, to feel courageous, to feel excited about what you're going to do. Because when you are practicing your passion on society's most wicked problems, the things that you create helps make the world great. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tondaway. As we reach the close of our ceremony, I have some final reminders to share before we send off our graduates. The first reminder is that following the convocation, there will be a reception with light refreshments at the college for graduates and their guests. Additionally, the diploma exhibition opens privately for the graduate diplomas and their guests, faculty, and staff at 4:30 at the Beaverbrook Art Gallery. And I also want to say thank you again to the Beaverbrook Art Gallery team for hosting us this summer in their professional space. We hope to see the rest of you visiting the exhibition once it opens starting tomorrow, June 7th. It will be spectacular. Please see the back of today's program for more details on our diploma exhibitions, the ongoing studio practice exhibition at our George Fry Gallery. Once again, congratulations to all of our grads. Be bold, be curious, be creative, and remember that you always have a home at the New Brunswick College of Craft and Design. Now, Elder-in-Residence Ron Tremblay will lead us through the platform procession from the stage, followed by our graduates. We ask that all guests remain seated until the graduates have exited. Thank you again for supporting our grads. We'll see you at the reception on campus shortly.